Hey, so today's video I have got a back plate. This was a little test I was doing just to show how I do battle damage when it's heavy damage. Love it. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to quickly run sandpaper over this to rough it up a little bit, and then I'm going to prime it, I'm going to let it dry, and I'm going to get some orange coats on it. That's it. An upgrade. Look, you're up there now. Hello. Brilliant. I've got a little clamp for my phone so I can create a much better viewing angle. I can also make it really wobbly. This is really cool. I've given this a bit of a top coat. I've got to be honest, it's not my best work. You can see I haven't really rubbed down all my filler particularly well. I'm gonna hide it in some weathering and dirt because sanding is rubbish.
I like the sound of that.
So this piece, I did a test run on it the other day. I've actually sprayed over it. I've got some greeblies that I've stuck on. That's an old piece of plastic which was part of a light bulb fitting. There's three little popper clips. I don't know what they are. You can close clothes with them. They're in there to make it look like some kind of socket. This that used to have sewing needles in it. So greeblies, love greeblies. So I've got my panel, my greeblies, I've got my damage examples. I'm going to do them again because I'm going to do them again. This bit I'm going to do silver. This will probably be silver or black, and then appropriate damage along the line. Looking forward to this. I've got my paintbrush, I've got my filthy rag, I've got my paints, I've got everything I need for some fun. First thing, let's go silver on that. Out comes the acrylic. You know me by now. To the 5 people who are watching me, I do like acrylics. I think I'll paint that silver, and inside will be silver as well. So let's just go for it. Oh, hello, what are you? There's some form of contamination in there. We don't want that. Get out. No freebies. That I can't even pick out. You probably can't even see on camera. That's a cat hair. I've got 5 cats. They leave their legacy everywhere. Lucky me. Okay. I think at the time of this video going out, it's Star Wars Celebration at, is it Anaheim? Well, in America. So if you've gone to Celebration, hope you had a good time. Hope you saw lots of cool cosplays, cool stuff, bought loads of cool things. Also, at the time of filming this, so probably by the time it goes out on the internet, we are 24 hours away from the new Obi-Wan Kenobi show on Disney Plus.
Hello there.
I'm a little bit excited about that, to be honest, as I'm sure everyone who's watching this is probably equally as giddy, because that's going to be good. So I'm going to paint this this grill, this needle box. I'm going to just paint the top of it silver. If you're a builder, you probably are, or you're about to, because you're watching videos about someone building and you're looking for ideas, tips, inspiration, whatnot. If you are in that situation, a top tip is for your greeblies or your bits and bobs that you might stick to your kit, just collect them all. Just collect everything. Have a little box somewhere full of odds and ends which might end up as part of a kit. I've got all sorts of weird stuff. It tends to be hardware that I found, washers and bolts, and if you've got any electrical equipment that's ended its life, there's often bits and bobs inside them that can be turned into greeblies. Most costuming clubs have a rule about no earth-like circuit boards and stuff, but you know, you find all sorts inside old electrical gear that's otherwise going to be thrown away. Keep cables and wires and stuff. You never know when they might come into play. Lots of fun. Oh, and if you are just about to embark on a build, stop going near hardware stores, because they just turn into places where you see things that you want to use, and shopping becomes an expensive gig. Right, so base coat of silver on the greeblies. I'm going to fill in the gouge, I'm going to fill in the blaster marks, and I will recolour the dents, I think. So the gouge first. These are my favourite parts of building anything, is adding damage. When I do a gouge or a cut, I'm purposely untidy. I go over the lines, and the reason is because the damage that's been caused by that slice in my head has chipped the paint or damaged the paint either, you know, along the line of the cut. So I think it gives it a bit more depth and interest than just a straight line. So that's why I'm intentionally going over the lines. You're back with me, normal speed for a minute. And part of what I need to do to hide my poor filling that I've tried to achieve here, I'm not very good at filling, hate doing that. I'm going to add some more damage around the edges of this extra layer. It's higher up and away from the back plate, so you imagine it may have got more scratches. I don't know, I'm making stuff up because of the job I've done. And that's all right, it's mine, I'll do what I like. Here is layer one, already coming along nicely. Okay, we'll speed on through the dirty bits. I'm going to dab on with my dirty rag some shade, and today's shade I don't know. I'm going to use the Army Painter Quick Shade Dark Tone. I think I've used this before. Yeah, I have. Before I speed you up, as always, splodge it on the rag. Oh no! And dab it around, and immediately you start to see results. I've said it before, I'll say it again, what you take off is as important as what you put on. So dab it on, then get a clean bit of the rag, dab it back off again. Try and avoid things like thumbprints. Let's speed up. Just bringing you back to real speed for a minute. One thing I've learned with acrylic washes is the more layers you put on, the stickier it becomes. And what that means is it doesn't really want to stick to the initial layer of spray paint very well. It's fair enough because it's quite a shiny non-stick surface, but if you wipe it around a thin layer quite liberally, that will help further layers to stick to it. Also, one thing I've learned is with acrylic wash and acrylic paint in general, is if you warm it up, it can get even stickier, and that's when you can get some really dirty tones in. So I might do that in a moment, just show you what I mean. So a quick liberal wash around these really slippery bits. Just blob some in there as well. I'll use a brush in there later, I think. That's going to help me along in a little while. Already looking dirty. I'm going to change my tone. I've got some Citadel Reekland Flesh Shade. I used this on the front, so I better use it on the back. Again, quite liberal. I've got a fingerful here, and I'm just going to blob it about. So you get this is Flesh Shade. So it's kind of in the red tones. It comes out on orange as a brown, really, which is kind of what I'm looking for. And it is starting to want to stick to that previous layer quite well. So you can do a bit of blending. Anyway, speeding up again. Warp speed. Wrong franchise. Back again. This time, old familiar Nuln Oil, which is black in colour. It's still a shade. Paintbrush. Loads on the brush. Throw it into that groove, that scar. Dab it back around the edges if you want to add extra textures. What this has done actually is quite good here, as it's starting to mix and blend with the metallic paint, which isn't really dry. So I've got a bonus there. Again, brushful, splat it about. A bit liberal here. I might need to back off a little bit. Just pull it back with a rag. You start to get the high and low spots. Really eye-catching. If you're looking to get clearance from the big club, you know what we're talking about. The Mercs love them. You got to watch your filling and sanding, because it obviously will not get past clearance. Any clearance you're trying to do, you won't. If you've got sanding lines, fill lines, and 3D print lines, it won't pass, which is fair enough. And I try and stick to their level of quality. If you do have fill lines and whatnot, there are ways of hiding them, making it part of it. As long as you don't mind a dirty kit, you can hide your lines quite substantially in some places, and that's all right. That's acceptable then. What I would say is, if you are building whilst affiliated to a costuming club, any costuming club, check their rules and guidance and their CRLs before you start any work, because most of them tend to be the same, and that requires a high standard of quality from you building. They may have material uses and guidance. Some things may or may not be allowable, so bear it all in mind. Don't just sort of go hell for leather with a build and then find out that you won't be able to troop with a club because it's, you know, made out of the wrong stuff. You know, if you want to cosplay with the Mandalorian Mercs, you can't use EVA foam, which I totally agree with, because whilst I think it looks really cool, it's probably not that appropriate because I don't think it wears very well. And honestly, even the best EVA builds, I think you can tell they're EVA. Whereas if you use foam board, 3D prints and other hard materials, yeah, it ends up looking like solid material. So always stick to the guidance given by your club. If you're building alone, try and hold yourself to the highest possible standards. Imagine what you'll look like trooping or wandering around a convention hall in your brand new cosplay. And you really want, if you're like me and most other vain cosplay people, you really want people to go, wow, can I have a photo? And if you've got garbage kit because you didn't spend the time using the best available materials and techniques, you're not going to get as many wows as you'd hope for. So, you know, build best quality. Here's me slapping paint on everywhere, telling you to build best quality. Yeah, I mean, if you're not affiliated with any costuming club, I'd highly recommend it. I built my first with the Mercs, got it cleared with my clan, the Bokchi clan in UK. Lovely people, great club, excellent guidance and advice. You won't get better, because the guys know what they're doing, and what you get from them, the deal is you end up learning how to build at the highest level, because you know, Mandalorian Mercs are not letting any garbage through. It's got to be sort of not screen accurate, but screen usable, you know. And I think that's fair, because they're Lucasfilm affiliated. They're not going to allow you to troop in garbage, so you've got to do your best work. And affiliating yourself with a club like the Mercs, or a million other different clubs at the moment, it will hold you to standards, and that really is an excellent thing. And more importantly than showing you how and helping you build the best you can build, you'll meet like-minded people who are just as geeky as you and me. Imagine being in a club with loads of people who think like you. Is that good or bad? I know people who think like me. That's not good. Oh, I'm going to have to dwell on that for a bit. Okay, anyway, so enough chatter. I've been merrily making my kit dirty. I think we'll try and go for a before and after picture now. I don't know, maybe. It's a bit finger marky at the moment, but that's going to dry. I'm going to let it air dry. I've got to then deal with the edges, just give them a finish, because I've got some trouble here. I haven't even looked at those yet, but I can make that happen. I'm not finished with this. I like the simple greebliness of it, but my inner geek is telling me, screaming at me, put some wires coming out of it. So I will eventually, who knows when. Onwards and upwards. Oh, check out the website that I run, mandobuilder.com, because I've done a checklist of where I'm up to so far, and it was done before this, so it'll have a nice plain orange print on it, but it shows you everything I've done so far and everything I've got to do next. I'm quite pleased with my progress, but all of a sudden I'm thinking, blimey, I've got a long way to go, but it's good fun. Anyway, that'll do for now. Cheerio.